Guys, what is up? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm talking about the forever dog. Recently I was on vacation, and normally when I travel I bring a couple of books with me. It's really the only time that I read. This time around, instead of reading the usual self-help or business books, which I usually bring with me, I wanted to read in and dive a bit more into something that would actually help my home life, and that is something that would benefit my dog and potentially me as well. So today I'm going to go through my overview, highlights, and review of the Forever Dog. Let's jump into it. Now, before we get started, this video is sponsored by Essentials, essentials.co. Head over there, use my code designer10 for 10% off your order. Essentials has all of the best basics for men and women. This is their Essential Crew sweater, which I love. It's in navy blue, super comfortable, fits well, but it's not super tight, doesn't show off any of the unnecessary or unflattering bits if you're a little bit on the heavier side. Their prices, the quality, it's really, really good and definitely can't be beat. Based in the US, their shipping is also super fast. Even if you're up here in Canada, I definitely recommend you go over and check out essentials.co. You will not be disappointed. And thank you to the Essentials team for sponsoring this video. So why did I want to read this book? Well, let's give you a little bit of context. I don't know if I've ever talked about it on my channel before or not, but my dog, she's a 2.5-year-old now, purebred Havanese, and she has pretty much since she was about a year old dealt or lived with pretty severe allergies. When I first discovered this, I'd just gotten her groomed, and I picked her up from the groomers, and she had huge red welts on her. Now, being a dog parent, I was naturally extremely freaked out, and then immediately got her checked out at the vet. Found out she had a combination of food and environmental allergies, which is pretty much like you're screwed when it comes to a dog. Now, I'm very thankful to say my dog is happy and healthy, and we are maintaining and managing her allergies to the best that we can. It's not cheap. She is on special food, and she receives a shot every so often from the vet to help with the environmental allergies, but there's a lot of restrictions. So navigating everything from treats to daily food intake has always been kind of a mystery and kind of a pain in the butt for my family and I. That's why when I went away this time, I decided I was going to pick up the Forever Dog and see if there were some little bits of information in the book that I could potentially lean on to improve her health, keep her from having flare-ups, and just overall make the relationship and dealing with her allergies a little bit easier. Now, although some of the stuff in the book was not rocket science or news to me really, including the fact of like dog food is just as processed as a lot of the stuff that we as humans eat, and it's obviously not good for you, and it's obviously not good for dogs. But obviously with me having a dog with food sensitivities and allergies, it was pretty interesting to learn just how bad some of the dog food stuff really is, even the stuff that sounds like it's good or natural or less processed. Obviously, the best way to give your dog the best chance of being healthy and living a long life is feeding raw or as close to raw as possible. That's one of the things that they constantly reinforce throughout this book. If you are feeding the cheap kibble, that's really what it is. It's essentially like junk food for your dog. They're taking in way too much carbohydrates. They're really overdoing it. Their body is just working super hard and can't process a lot of this crap. A lot of the stuff dogs don't even need, yet it's in their food in extremely high amounts. Key takeaway number one, unfortunately, dog food's not cheap. The good dog food is not cheap, but if you're buying cheap dog food, you're essentially feeding your dog garbage. Essentially the stuff that's like freeze-dried or basically raw is the least processed or completely unprocessed form of food, and that is going to be better for your dog in the long term. Just like for us, if we eat healthy food, then we can expect our health to be better for a long time. My second big key takeaway is that you definitely can supplement your dog's food, raw or kibble or however you're feeding, with fresh foods that we would eat, and it is very beneficial for them. In fact, I think the stat in the book says that by substituting even like half or a quarter of the dog's normal kibble with fresh food can prolong their life by years and years, and it can reduce the likelihood of them getting cancer by up to 90%. Another big point reiterated in the book is that dogs are getting cancer at a crazy high rate, like way more than ever, which is causing them to live shorter lives than ever. Cancer is pretty much the biggest thing that's going to kill dogs, unfortunately, these days. I was a little skeptical. My dog obviously eats protein-based products. She eats salmon, and most of her treats are salmon or cod or other kinds of fish. She can't have chicken. She's allergic to chicken. She's allergic to rice. So I was a little unsure if she would really make the jump from eating fish to fish with some vegetables in there. But as you can see here in this video clip, she actually loves it. She really loves peppers. She really loves cucumbers. We've given her a little bit of lettuce as well as a bit of a mix-in. It was kind of cool to see that not only did she really enjoy it, but now she actually takes to it as a treat. Definitely for me at least, feels like we're giving her a little bit of a nicer meal or a nicer treat than the same old freeze-dried piece of cod or salmon or what have you. And of course, my last big takeaway from this book was keeping active, getting out with your dog makes a huge difference if you want them to live longer, healthy lives. Some of the dogs that have lived the longest lives are walking kilometers and kilometers per day, living on farms and have huge areas to run free, stuff like that. And it really can make a significant difference. My dog's a Havanese, as I said, it's a smaller breed. Typically, you only need to get them 30, 45 minutes of activity per day. But I've now been actively making an effort to get that activity level up. She's actually the happiest when she's running free. The smile on her face as she's booking it around, it's so funny to watch. But just taking little steps to increase that activity just a little bit more. And hopefully that will, in the long term, lead to a healthier, longer dog that will be with me for a longer time. As I said, my dog's only 2.5 years old. I'm not really at that point where I'm super worried about her passing away suddenly because she is so young. I know it can happen. Same with developing disease, just like us as humans. For what I paid for this book and the tidbits that I was able to glean from it, and now some of the things that I've been able to implement into our daily routine for the past few weeks since returning from my trip, I am actually seeing that her redness and her sore spots, which she does still have flare-ups from time to time, have gone down. She has some small black spots under her arms as a result of the allergies, but that has started to go down and it's looking better. And this is all without any sort of medical intervention, any trips to the vet, or anything else being changed other than introducing a couple new things in her diet, getting her a little bit more activity. So again, while she's young, healthy, these are some tips that now I can carry forward for the rest of her life, and hopefully that prolongs and extends her life. Dogs are one of the best companions you can have. If I didn't have her with me last year at the beginning of the pandemic, I don't know where I'd be today. It was a very lonely period, and I'm sure I'm not the only person out there that can understand and sympathize with having a companion through extremely long periods of isolation. Not to mention, just overall, having a dog can improve your life, makes you happier, you've got a companion, it maybe gets you a bit more active. Even though her allergies have been difficult to manage, I think that I've got a couple more tools in my toolbox to help me maintain them and manage them going forward now. So if you want to pick up the Forever Dog and you've got a dog in your life, or you're thinking about getting a dog and you want to have a little bit of a head start on kind of jumping the gun on some of the things I had to learn the hard way, like the kind of foods to buy and not to buy, definitely go ahead and pick it up. I'll leave links down in the description. Thank you again to Essentials for sponsoring this video. Again, use my code designer10 at essentials.co, 10% off your order. And last but not least, it is coming up on Valentine's Day. Guys or girls, hey, works both ways. If you want to send your significant other a little thing, I've teamed up with a team at Phillips Florals. Click the link down at the bottom of the description and you can send a bouquet anywhere in the US and Canada to your significant other this Valentine's Day. Help make their day, even if you can't be together, or show that you're thinking about them, send them a little something. Awesome team over there at Phillips Florals. Thank you guys for working with me on the channel as well. Guys, have you read The Forever Dog? Have you any thoughts or tips for managing dogs with allergies? Let me know down in the comments. Let's talk about this. And thank you guys for watching another video, and I'll be back with another one very soon.